Hey Exiles, how are you doing? It's Jimmerding here, bringing 3 little tidbits of base building knowledge and wisdom to the influx of new players now joining the game. I think it's great that this game is still getting new blood pumped into it, and I remember how watching videos helped me when I first started, especially as Conan's building can be a little bit clunky at times. The 3 techniques in this video are methods of getting around certain problems whilst building that you wouldn't expect, so let's get started with number 1, which is one of the most frequently used techniques on my builds, the fence foundation method for lowering foundations. Timestamps for the other techniques will be in the description, but getting straight to it, this method allows you to snap foundations to existing ones but at lower heights, as believe it or not, there's not actually a way of doing this with the in-game placement controls. You could try lowering a foundation and just placing it a couple of spaces away and building off of that if you like, but that's way too time consuming. Just whack a fence foundation on the side of a foundation like so, and you'll see it can be placed slightly lower than the top of the edge of the existing foundation. This can then be repeated over and over until you get gradually lower foundations. You can make really alternative stairways with this technique, or even create more headspace on your ground floors like I did in my recent Ashlands Stormglass Manor build. A link to that will be in the description so you can see what I mean. One thing to bear in mind with this technique is that it only really works on foundations embedded in terrain, not placed on top of other foundations. You'd have to start stacking walls on top of the fence foundations to build up to any levels higher than that. The next method is essentially the reverse of what I just showed you. It's the fence raising method. If you want to raise foundations snapped to other ones, you can place a fence on the edge of the foundation this time. Note, this is a fence, not a fence foundation. And then you're able to place a normal foundation approximately midway up that fence. Note, some materials don't like this method, which is why I use insulated wood fences, as I know they definitely work. You'll also see that the height increase you get between each level using this method is a bit larger than the first method we just looked at, so please bear that in mind as well. Lastly, we have the staircase pillar method. This addresses the issue that pillars can only be snapped to the exact middle of a foundation. You can place them anyway, like just on normal terrain, but if you ever want to place a pillar on the edge of a foundation, for example, you'd have to use this method. It's dead simple. You just place a staircase that you can sacrifice, then place the pillar at the top of the stairs, then just remove the stairs, and voila. This allows you to build pillars inside walls, which not only looks cooler than a plain wall, but also might offer a bit more protection if a projectile hits the pillar instead of the wall, for example. So there you have 3 quick techniques to help you get closer to the base build of your dreams. I really hope you found it useful. If you did, be sure to hit those like and subscribe buttons so you don't miss any future vids. This has been Jimmerding. See you next time.